Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vanguard Show. We have some special guests with us today, and the group we have is E21 United. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for coming.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good to be
Thank
here.
you for
Thank you.
having us. Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
it's a joy and a pleasure. We love good music, and definitely yours is one of the best that's out there right now. Me and my husband, ever since I found out about your group, we've been playing your songs and going to the media and talking about it. We love it. It's nice to
Awesome.
have beautiful, enjoyable, and it's actually music that comes to your soul. It reminds you of back in the day, and I just love it. So we appreciate good music.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate that.
Oh, yes, all the time. And we'll get into actually getting your introductions. And if each one of you can kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are. So, who want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'm Yolanda Everett, member of E21 United. I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama, but I've been a resident of Atlanta, Georgia for almost 30 years, and been singing a long time, different groups, various groups, of course, started in the church.
Yes.
My sister and I had a group growing up. We performed locally in Montgomery, Alabama, and also did some performances on one of our notable moments was on BET
All right.
Teen Summit way back in the day. And I joined forces with my brother, Charles Everett, my biological brother, and my other brother from another spiritual mother, Lonnie Edwards. And we've teamed up as E21 United. And we're here trying to do, what God is telling us to do with our music.
And we love it. Look, y'all keep listening to him, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Will do.
All right, then we can go ahead and let Brother Lonnie go next then.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, my name is Lonnie Edwards. And yes, I been doing music for a minute. By profession, I'm a teacher. By profession, we're all teachers, but I'm a
Yeah.
school teacher, teach middle school. But also, like I said, I do music as well. Born in a place called Villa Rica, Georgia. If you don't know what that is, you got to find it. It's not too far from Alabama. So it ain't too far from where Chuck and Yolanda were born. They're not too far from Alabama. But yeah, so like I said, been doing music for a while. And I just really appreciate the opportunity that the Lord has provided us to come together and do a great work for him, that we may be able to lead, inspire, and motivate others to live a life that honors him and to live a life that brings joy to others. So yeah, happy to be here.
All right. Come on, brother. You're the last one. Bring it home.
Well, we have, my sister and I have been involved in the music scene for a long time. We grew up in the church singing. Parents sang. My father actually went to Tuskegee University on a music scholarship. He sang opera. So music has just been a part of our life since day one. We took piano lessons, we were in the band, and in addition to athletics, music was paramount in our life. So, the journey itself has been one that's been something else. I was in secular music for a long time, singing R&B, doing the rap, and it was just not as fulfilling as I would have liked it to have been. So I decided to put my interests and my time and efforts into music that will give a message, something that would be something that my students as a school teacher could listen to, and I wouldn't have to be holding my head like,
Yes.
oh, I can't believe I'm letting my kids hear this stuff. I want my kids to be able to hear something that they can learn from and grow from and uplift them, So that was my choice to move towards gospel and inspirational music. We got enough problems going on this earth, and we need to be a light in a place that's dark. So E21 United is here before you today to bring light to the world and give them the message as we see it, and in a way that they can bob their heads to it,
That's
dance
awesome.
just like you would listen to regular music.
Yes.
It's got a strong message, one that we prayed on and we feel has been sent to us from our high power.
And I was going to say, I truly have to admit, you are correct, because the thing about it is, it does reach to you. It has that beat. It's like it has that old school with that new funk.
All right.
So I was going to actually ask y'all, my next question on it was, how did your group come together and form the name? How was that devised? Was it a team effort, or was it, you know how some say it just popped up at you?
It popped up. It popped up.
Lonnie Edwards.
We were always working together. You know, I worked with Lonnie Edwards for about 12 years over at Chapel Hill Middle School in DeKalb County. And my sister was also in the area teaching. And we just, you know, started working together. And Lonnie would use us to sing on a lot of his songs. So he said, man, shoot, we might as well just pull this thing on together. The chemistry is so great. He still does a lot of things on his solo projects, but it's always a group effort. We always pull together. And Lonnie came up with this wonderful name for our group that I just gotta let him describe what it is.
It's so dope how he explains it. I mean,
Yes.
And I was gonna say, we always know there's a meaning behind the name. So come on, Lonnie, tell us about it.
Okay, there's no pressure, right? There's no pressure. But now listen, I mean, really, it came. Listen, we were in the process of said, okay, you know what? We work together. We come together as it relates to musically, and what would it be? What name would best just describe us, Lord? What name would best give a proper representation of who you have been to us individually and who you have been to us as a group? And so one day in the parking lot, you know, I go down a whole lot of different names. I said, you know what? Wait a minute. Ephesians, reading the Bible, and Ephesians 2:1, which says, you know, we were dead in our trespasses and sins, but God has made us alive. He's made us alive when we were dead in our trespasses and sins. So I was like, okay, Ephesians 2:1, E21. Okay, that was the first one. Then, you know, when you rap, you like to have a whole lot of different meanings. So I was like, all right, E21, Ephesians 2:1. Then I said, wait a minute now. We have 2 Everetts and we have 1 Edwards. Okay, that's E21. Then I said, wait a minute. We're made up of 3 educators. So E, and then the number 2 plus 1 equals 3. So E21, so that's the third meaning, right? Keep going. So then I said, wait a minute. It's 2 males and 1 female. E21. Then I said, well, wait a minute. Spiritually, we do recognize our God as being, you know, a triune Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The eternal E21. Then I said, wait a minute. And the united piece means, and we are united together with Christ and in Christ to do his work. So I said, you know what? That's a lot of meanings, but it seems to make a lot of sense. So I said, you know, E21 United. When you put all those together, that's the totality. That's what makes us all of those. Whereby we come together to do a work. We're united in Christ. We've been saved by Christ. We have been delivered from the power of sin by Christ. But we come together, E21 United, to do the work of Christ for his glory. So yeah, E21 United.
And I was going to say, and I hate to also add to your numbers, 2 plus 1 is 3.
That's it.
All right.
All right.
Always
Hey,
open to some more.
Man, look, I was going to say, my hair just rose.
I was just sharing with my daughter last night that's how things normally work out for me in 3s and in 7s. And we both know those numbers are
number of completion and number of perfection.
Perfection. That's right.
So y'all do know that means success is here. It's already here.
Come on now.
That's it.
Thank you.
We're going to proclaim it. Amen.
Yes.
I was going to say that is something else. And look, y'all right. He knew how to tell a story.
Okay.
This was great. I mean, just that in itself, look, I was like inspiring. It's like all of it came together. And pretty much I love that. Look, there was no pushback, was there, Lonnie? They just went with that name, didn't they? They couldn't stop after you said that.
At least it seemed like it was okay. So we'll take it from there.
All right now.
All right. So I was going to ask you also, why gospel? Why did y'all choose gospel out of anything else y'all could have done together as a group?
Well, you know, it's got such a positive message and such a timely message, you know, that will never end. You know, it's all the message of gospel music is going to be the same from beginning to end because God is a constant in our lives. And, you know, we wanted something that would uplift and inspire people. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
And we can do that through gospel music. However, we don't lock ourselves into a box.
Mm-hmm.
Inspirational music, anything for
Mhm.
us that's going to empower people and bring them to Christ, or
Mhm.
empower people and just make them feel good. That's our mode. That's what we want to do.
Right.
Because there's so much going on, as Chuck mentioned, that's just bringing people down in this world,
Mhm.
and people need something, a go-to that's going to make them feel good, make them feel better. So gospel, for us, of course, God has done so much for us,
Mhm.
and it's just a way to say thank you and to give back to him. He doesn't look. He has all the riches and everything, but we owe everything to him.
That's right.
And so it's our way of just saying, thank you, and we're most grateful, and we can get that message across through our music.
And definitely, I know it's inspirational. And so
Yeah.
I do like that. Positive is what we need. And like you stated, also for those kids. And because y'all educators by nature, it seems like to me that's a great fit for you.
Yeah.
We definitely need people that's mentors, and definitely, sister, I know it's great, but guess what? For brothers to actually have such positivity on the young boys, that's what we need right now. We don't have enough, even in education in itself. Look at the males compared to females in teaching. So I definitely understand we have a great need, and where we are right now, just even if it's just as small as what we can have with the three of you, it is wonderful to have that type of inspiration. So I do applaud y'all for that as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
because you know how they said, if you talk it, it shall be.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
All right.
So I really appreciate that. Now, I have to get to one. If I did not, my partner in crime, my husband, would not let me hear the end of it. So out of your songs, he wanted me to make sure you knew that both of us, our favorite is Love's, You've Been So Good.
All right.
Question to you guys. He said, where did y'all film that at? He want to know. He said that was such a beautiful song, but not only that, he said also the video was wonderful. It was uplifting, upbeat. So tell me a little bit about that journey.
Well, okay. We filmed that at both Stone Mountain
Okay.
and also was it Stone Mountain?
That was Arabia Mountain.
Arabia
Arabia
Mountain. I'm
Mountain.
sorry. Yes.
Right.
Arabia Mountain and also Arabia Mountain. That's where it happened, in two different places of Arabia Mountain. We wanted to show the dark side.
Yes.
So the side that you see me, and I love to climb. I like hiking.
Mm-hmm.
And so the dark side was that rocky, black, gray.
Mm-hmm.
I was running up that hill. And then the light side was where we were in front of the water, and the sun is shining there, So that all that took place at Arabia Mountain here in Georgia.
Well, I have to say then I was wrong. I said Stone Mountain and he said Arabia Mountain.
I forgot myself.
Arabia Mountain, that is.
We were trying to find a spot that was, secluded enough to where we could film the video without being too distracting or being distracted. And Stone Mountain's a busy place, so we chose Arabia Mountain.
It was beautiful, and look, I couldn't even tell the difference. And I knew it was where it was like it was scenic. At the same time, you could tell it was one that you could be at peace. So all of it came together with the song. Now, he did also want to know or ask who shot the video for you. He said he would like to know that as well.
We have a brother by the name of Christopher Lawson, who runs a company called Empower.
Okay.
And he's excellent. He has a lot of projects going on and around Atlanta, and we came upon him through one of our musical producers, Sam Avery Peasy, and it's just been a great relationship. He's really good at what he does.
The video shows it. So we wanted to make sure we gave that shout out as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And also wanted to know from each one of you at this time, can y'all kind of tell me a little bit of what were some of your challenges coming into the music business that you saw individually?
Oh boy, dealing with that pandemic,
Mhm.
it's been really been difficult because you get the opportunity to go out and travel and do shows and things of that nature, and just getting to the used to doing everything virtually, just as it was with teaching, because we're
Oh,
all three
yes.
teachers. We all had to deal with being able to use this platform to get the word out, and it's still a challenge. So
I know.
hopefully things will sort of get back to normal where we can travel and do live shows, because that's where you really get to connect with your audience.
Mhm.
Well, I started this musical journey back in 1992, I believe it was. And like I was telling you, sharing earlier, my sister and I were in a group, and we worked with some various producers, and doors were just not opening. I
Mhm.
mean, we got great opportunities, got a chance to perform in different venues and great, opportunities, but just wasn't happening. And some of the music that we were singing back then it was secular music.
Got you.
I mean, we didn't do anything provocative because we were still
Mhm.
teachers, and we had to be accountable to our students.
Yes.
And that was one of the challenges that I ran into, because our writers at that time were writing music that I did not feel comfortable singing. And I was the oldest person in the group, and our style was similar to En Vogue.
Okay.
And but some of the words and the lyrics and the songs were quite suggestive,
Mhm.
and I wasn't comfortable with that because of the students, and the other girls were younger,
Mhm.
because I was in college at the time, they were in high school. And I would take a red pen to his when he would give us the lyrics. I would take a
Mhm.
red pen to it respectfully, and I would say, we can't say these things, we can't do it. And it caused some rifts, and we ran into that. And I'm like, okay, I've always been big on women respecting themselves.
Mhm.
We have a positive message to share, and we have an example. We are an example. So those were some of the challenges that I ran into earlier coming into this. And I just decided I want to be about something else.
Yeah, because sometimes what it is, they're thinking those are the type of things that will sell. So they're looking for
Exactly.
sales. They're not looking
Right.
for, how they say, where you are in your worth. They're looking
Right.
for that dollar on their side.
Exactly.
Right.
But I look
Mhm.
at people like Aretha Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
who she didn't have to sell herself short.
Nope.
I mean, she was a class act artist. She was both gospel, inspirational. She did all kind of music, but she's kept her class.
And
She
Patti LaBelle, same difference. Yeah,
so many,
that's
so
it.
many. I can go on and on, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, hey, if God has a message and a seed that He's planted,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to do all that.
No,
He's
how they
gonna
say,
bless it.
as they say, you don't have to sell your soul to
That's
get where you
right.
need to be.
Exactly. And what does a prophet mean? A
That's
prophet.
it.
Right. Oh
Come
yeah.
on, Lonnie, you got to tell us your challenge, Lonnie.
Mine is pretty strange,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm gonna do it in that little 3-minute piece. It's just obvious, back in 1996, November 3rd, 96, I trusted in the Lord Jesus Christ. And then as a result of that, the type of music that I was interested in and participating in, I turned my back to it. I was like, I'm not gonna do that anymore, similar
Mm-hmm.
to what Yolanda was talking about. But then here became the problem. The problem became, okay, Lord, how do I honor you with the gift that I have? So my thing was, I can make things rhyme. So maybe I'll do something called gospel rap. The problem was, it was so early in 1998, gospel rap. It was real early, real young, didn't have a real space in the blockbusters at that time. Blockbusters
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a space in the church because it was new. So it was like, wow. Then all of a sudden, there was a big boom in the South where we had something called holy hip hop. And when you had holy hip hop and the big gospel rap movement kicked in, people started beginning to be open to it. So we had a space. And I was a member of a group at that time, Good Side. We were doing a lot of traveling with, Mercy Me's and stuff like that. And so people was like, okay, this might not be, it might not be too bad. However, we always dealt with that tension of, but it's still rap. Now, I didn't even say that I was against this prior to doing it. I was okay with rap. Then once I got saved, I was like, I just, do some sing hymns, but I was against gospel rap initially. But then I began to say, okay, Lord, there's a way that I can honor you in this. Well, one of the challenges has been And some of it has been self-inflicted. I'm gonna be honest with you. But one of the challenges has been for the church at large to embrace the music ministry that we have in gospel rap. That was some of the initial challenge. But then just to be on the dealing with the gospel rap piece, then there was some challenges that we in the gospel rap community brought upon ourselves, in that our presentation was more secularized and sanctified. And so the church then began to say, you know what, we can't let that. So I took a little break, I did. And then when the Lord brought me back, that's when I kind of hooked back up with Chuck and Yolanda. The Lord began to say, I'm opening up a window to begin to utilize this method of ministry. Just make sure it's done for my glory, make sure it's honoring me. And I always say this, when Paul was writing his epistles, he didn't write his epistles so that the whole world would see it. He wrote his epistles to churches, whether that was Colossae or Corinth and all that. And what the Lord did, because of God's faithfulness, the Lord said, you know what? I now can let the world hear what you was talking about in your epistles. And so I believe that as we remain faithful to the Lord and the task that he's placed in our hands, that he can begin to open up those doors that no man can shut, and then shut doors that no man can open, so that he can be ultimately glorified in our efforts to please him.
Well,
true that.
All
Because
right.
I'm 100% behind that, because mine is what's meant for you, no one can take away. Because if God has it in there for you and that is your path, guess what? No one can destroy what a plan is made by him. So y'all keep the faith the exact same way you're going, and you will always come through. You know how they say, we aim for the sky, and where we be? Among the stars.
All right. I love that. I love that.
So now I have another one to ask you, and that question would be, at this point in time, the gifts that you have so far now, because we know as we go, we grow. So my question would be, the gift that you have, if you could share it with others, what would be that special gift you would tell those that's young coming up, especially since y'all teachers, that would be advice to them if they, as a young group, would like to start in the music business?
Never give up. We've been through some really hurtful times. I'm serious. Like when we first started out, and from the beginning to the middle and on forward, we had some doors closed in our faces. People who we thought, were really on our side and could help us. I mean, it took us through the ringer and it was hard, but you got to keep persevering. If it's something that you really want, you got to keep going, keep going, and, and just continue to sharpen your craft. And so that's the advice I would give. Don't give up on your dream. Keep going. It might not happen when you want it, but it's going to happen in God's time.
That's it.
It's all about his time.
All right, Chad.
I would say make sure you do your research, and little simple things, like, for instance, your name of your group or what have you. Do your research. Make sure you own your name. Save your chips. Make sure your music is copywritten. And when you get ready to start playing your music on the radio, make sure you register your stuff with MediaBase and Nielsen if it's going to be on TV. Just cover your bases, because everybody in the music business, they aren't honest.
Right.
We'll take your stuff. So I would say definitely own your name and copyright your music and have it registered.
And definitely, we've seen what you're saying is good advice as well, because we've seen so many times people coming back and having to file bankruptcy, and come to find out it's because they didn't handle that business side.
Right.
Making sure they had things that was in place to protect them. Because of course, everybody also state, I did it to the next person because someone did it to me. So part of it should be us actually helping each other and learning from what has taken place from me, not for it to happen to you, not the other way around, and us saying, well, because it happened to me, I can do it to the next person.
Right.
Come on, Lonnie, bring us home one more time, Lonnie.
Pass the baton, right? It's interesting because the baton is a good thing. My thing would be to know your lane. And I say that because of this. When you think about a track meet, running on the track, you have 8 lanes on the track. You know, if you assigned lane number 4, run and stay in lane number 4 and run that lane as hard as you can. Don't worry about who's in lane number 1. Don't worry about who's in lane number 8. Don't look back, because if you look back, you don't know where you're going. You get out the lane and you disqualify. And see, I think so many times artists sometimes look at what someone else is doing and tries to copy them to the point where they forget who they are, or they get out of their lane and they aren't as effective. You can't be effective being somebody else. You can only be effective being the best you can be. So if you stay in your lane and be okay with your lane, now go forward. As Chuck said, handle your business, you know what I mean? Do what you're supposed to do. But if you run in your lane, stay in your lane. Your lane may not be Grammy, but your lane may so touch the life of those people that you get a chance to talk to that it can make an eternal impact. So whatever your lane is, you run that race with endurance. Oh, that's a little bit of the Bible. But you run that race with endurance, and you run that, and you stay in that lane, and you make it to the finish line. Don't stop till you make it to the finish line of your lane. So know your lane.
And I was going to say, with you knowing your lane, just remember you're in the race to begin with. Because guess what? It took a journey to get to the race.
That's right.
And then my second one after that would be, after you're in that race, and let's say I just don't win it. But guess what? I got to it, which was a winning point. And not only that, even if I don't win, did I not learn something because I got in it? And what connections could I have made while I was there to get with the one that won, to actually get pointers from them, so eventually I could win. So we got to look at each step as a stone to the next.
A learning process. Can I add one other thing too?
Yes, ma'am.
In the words of my favorite artist, Prince Rogers Nelson, always make sure you hold on to your masters.
Oh, yes.
Ownership matters. It's your creation. You own it. Don't let anybody take it from you.
That's right.
And that's it, because my thing is, if you do and you don't own, how did you do all that hard work and gave it away?
Exactly.
I'm like, just remember, yes, you are the one that brought the product together, the three of you. Let no one take it away, because the ownership is yours. And that is key, because a lot of us, what we do, we'll sell it for a little bit, it'll blow up, and then guess what we say? Man, if I kept it. It's just like stocks. I mean, it's the same thing. And stocks, at least, is a gamble. This is not, because as long as you know your worth, it will continue to grow and build, as long as, like you're saying, you're learning your craft.
That's right.
And if you take each one of the opportunities you have and you grow from it, and let's say we stumble and we fall, as long as we pick ourselves up and the three of you united together and the support team structure I see you have, I know if one of you failed, the other two would pick them up.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's part of the teamwork. That in itself, y'all know, is an asset to your team. Because how many people would not pick you up and keep on moving because mine is good?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you got to own it. You got to keep it, stay focused. I mean, like I said, I don't see but growth for the three of you. And especially mine, I love that with y'all being educators, y'all. I'm like, y'all, my dream three.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much.
I was going to say, I really have enjoyed interviewing the three of you. I definitely want to know some of your other songs that you've actually put out. Can y'all give us a little bit about the other songs that you have that's available?
Well, right now we have the entire album of 7 songs. All of them have their own personality and have possessed a little one of our struggles or something we've seen and we really feel like need right now. We have a video out called Keep On Moving, and it was shot and created in the heart of the pandemic when everything was going crazy. They just let all the teachers out and everybody was looking around like, what is going on? We created that song because it embodied what we were feeling. We saw how the world was looking and we said, we got to give them something. We got to be able to get it out quickly. And hopefully we can make it move. We dropped it out as a single before we even dropped the album. And so, Lord, you've been so good and Keep On Moving. We got one out called Clap Your Hands, Just Clap Your Hands. And all of these songs are about just staying focused in the midst of troubled times. don't fall. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You got people dying all around you. You're sick. You're dealing with all these things. We just lost our aunt.
Sorry to hear that.
Boy, a plethora of friends and family. So we said music is spiritual, and it has a job that can uplift and keep people moving. So we just felt like those songs would be something that would touch the world.
Yeah.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Thank you for helping us get the word out.
Oh, you're welcome. The minute my husband told me we had you coming on, we start playing the music. And I just want to say, even though Christmas is over, I can't wait for the Christmas version to come back this year.
Oh yeah.
Because I saw it and I said, hey, they got a Christmas one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can y'all tell us locations that they can go to actually do the purchases of your actual videos?
Well, the music is available on apple.com, also music.amazon.com. And you can hear it on Spotify. You can hear it on YouTube at E21 United.
All right.
And also we can be reached out too by Instagram at E21 United, E21 _United.
Okay.
And also on Facebook at Yolanda L. Everett 2.
All right. Well, I was gonna say, anything else you have coming up?
We're about to get back in the studio and get some more stuff going as a group. But my brother Lonnie has some stuff out there right now that he's been working on that's just awesome, and I'll let him explain that. But yeah, we're gonna get back in the lab really soon.
Okay, cool. Lonnie, come on. Look, they seem to let you bring it home each time, huh, Lonnie?
Hey, that all the pressure be on the last leg. Wow. I'm gonna have to go first next time. No, but serious though. So yes, I mean, again, we come together. We've done the work that Chuck talked about with our CD that we released. I also at tag team in the gospel rap category. I released a CD called Back to Life about a week and a half ago. Released a video as well, Holy, and then also we collabed on something just to piggyback on what Chuck said. There will be a song that he and I collabed on. It's called Forever Free, and that video. This is where you won't necessarily hear me so boisterous on this one, because that video is going to highlight, and you're getting it first. Like nobody else knows this. But you're getting this first though. The video, the song is about how though we've lost people during this time, they're free now. They're free from the struggle, and they're free from the pain. They're free from the heartache, and they're free from the strain. And they're forever free now that they're with the Lord. So this particular song and video will highlight about maybe 10 people who have passed on. And it's kind of like a tribute and a memorial to them. I had to get permission from families to make sure that we can include them in the video. But this will be coming out right before Mother's Day. Chuck said it best. I mean, this year and a half has been an interesting year, and we've wanted to make sure that we could provide some uplift, some encouragement, some guidance, some instruction. You know what I mean? And just some hope in the midst of a time where many of us, some people will say many of them. But let's just be honest.
It's
we go through time where we have some ups and some downs, some mountains and some valleys and some rivers. So, like I say, we just want to make sure that we can continue to encourage and uplift as many as we can, so that they'll know that the hope that we have is eternal hope, and that hope can be found in the Lord Jesus Christ.
And we really appreciate it, because at this time, I know we didn't discuss it, but when you state that and that uplifting, because we know we have a lot of mental issues out there right now with this, it does not help when you're not facing others, because sometimes it's just being among your friends to actually have and release that energy you have.
Right.
Think about it, not being able to bounce off. We've actually seen some suicides, even with young people as well. And part of it is because they don't have an outlet. So sometimes having that spirituality is a need. And the thing about it is having and hearing music, how they say, smooths the soul.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make one more shout out. If you guys want to reach us, anybody, we can be reached also at E21United3@gmail.com. And I want to give a special shout out to our family friend, Chandra Hill
Yes.
Smith. And she's with Pull and Press. She is the world's most fabulous publicist.
Yes,
Yes.
she is.
And we
I don't know where
appreciate
we would be without her.
and
Yes,
we
yes.
appreciate her as
Thank
well.
her so much.
My husband stayed with the Vanguard. You are the second she's actually brought to the show as
Aw.
well.
Oh yeah.
So we really appreciate her. And he told me, he said, make sure you give a special shout out as well. So thank you, Chuck, for reminding me as well.
Good people.
Oh, yes. So I was going to say at the end of our actual video, I'm letting everyone know that you've given us permission and we will share your links. We will put also your information on our Facebook page as well and also on our YouTube channel. So we really appreciate y'all coming in and sharing your stories with us, and definitely keep on bringing us that great inspirational music. Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for
very much.
having
Thank
us.
you. God
We
bless.
appreciate it.
Same here. I appreciate you all. Have a good day. And look, be safe, everyone.
You
as well.
too.
Ma'am.
Go get
Okay.
your
All right.
husband. Thank you.
Bye-bye.